Consistency is one of the most underrated yet powerful tools for success. It's not the occasional bursts of effort that lead to long-term achievement, but the small, daily actions we take consistently that build the foundation for true success. In my own journey, I've realized that consistency is what has allowed me to stay grounded, focused, and relentlessly moving forward, even when the road gets tough. When I started out in the entertainment industry, I had no guarantees, no surefire path to success. There were times when I felt uncertain about my future, unsure if I would ever make a mark in such a competitive field. But one thing that always kept me going was the decision to show up every single day, no matter how hard or discouraging things seem. It wasn't the grand gestures or the one-off efforts that got me to where I am today. It was the quiet, consistent work behind the scenes, the constant honing of my craft, and the persistence to keep pushing forward. Consistency isn't about doing something perfectly every time, nor is it about having all the answers. It's about the commitment to put in the effort day after day, even when results aren't immediate. I've learned that consistency is what allows you to keep improving, to keep evolving, even when progress feels slow. Every rehearsal, every audition, every performance, each moment is an opportunity to refine and grow. And it is through consistent practice and dedication that you eventually see the fruits of your labor. I'll be honest, there were many times in my career when I didn't feel like I was getting the recognition I deserved, or when I questioned whether I was on the right path. But the key to overcoming those moments was to stay consistent. I didn't let temporary setbacks or failures derail my long-term vision. Instead, I kept showing up, kept working, and kept improving. Consistency teaches you to trust the process. It teaches you that the path to success is not a straight line, but a journey that requires persistence, patience, and steady effort. Consistency is also about building habits that set you up for success. When you make something a part of your daily routine, it becomes second nature. Whether it's working on your craft, developing new skills, or maintaining a healthy work-life balance, the habits you form today will determine the outcomes you experience in the future. By committing to the small things, waking up early, practicing, learning, and staying disciplined, you are laying the groundwork for success in every aspect of your life. Another important aspect of consistency is resilience. It's easy to give up when things aren't going well, but consistency demands that you keep going even when the results aren't immediate. The ability to stay consistent through difficult times is what sets those who succeed apart from those who quit. It's not the people who are always the most talented or the most gifted who succeed. It's the ones who continue to put in the work, even when the going gets tough. I've also learned that consistency requires a deep sense of belief in what you're doing. If you don't believe in your own vision, it becomes impossible to stay consistent. But when you truly commit to your goals and believe in your purpose, consistency becomes less of a core and more of a natural extension of who you are. The more consistent you are, the more confidence you gain in your own abilities. Success, then, is not just the result of big wins, but of the countless small, consistent actions you take every day to create the life and career you want. In the end, consistency is about showing up, day in and day out, with the belief that your hard work will eventually pay off. It's about trusting that the small steps you take today will lead to the big achievements of tomorrow. And while success may not come overnight, the commitment to stay consistent will eventually make it inevitable. Embracing change is one of the most empowering decisions you can make in life. Change can be intimidating, often pulling you out of your comfort zone and challenging everything you thought you knew. However, it's in those moments of discomfort that the most significant growth happens. I've learned over the years that if you don't embrace change, you limit yourself and miss out on opportunities to evolve, innovate, and ultimately achieve greater success. I remember when I made the decision to transition from Bollywood to Hollywood. It was a huge step, one that many people around me didn't fully understand. There was uncertainty, fear of the unknown, and plenty of doubts about whether I would be accepted in an entirely new industry with different standards and expectations. But for me, it wasn't just about pursuing a career in a new place. It was about embracing a new challenge, a new opportunity to grow. The world was changing rapidly, and if I didn't embrace that change, I would be left behind. I could have stayed in my comfort zone where I was already well established, but I knew that success wasn't about staying in one place. It was about taking risks, challenging myself, and continuing to evolve. The process of embracing change isn't always smooth. There are growing pains, moments of doubt, and struggles with the unfamiliar, but that's the point. Change forces you to adapt, to become more resourceful, and to discover strengths you didn't know you had. In Hollywood, I faced a different kind of competition, new cultural dynamics, and a completely different pace of work. But instead of resisting those differences, I chose to immerse myself in them. I saw every new challenge as an opportunity to expand my horizons, to learn new skills, and to build relationships that would shape my future in ways I couldn't have predicted. Change also brings with it new perspectives. Sometimes we get so comfortable with the way things are that we lose sight of the bigger picture. But when you embrace change, you open yourself up to seeing the world from different angles. You gain new insights, new ideas, and new ways of thinking. This is particularly important when you're in a leadership role or when you're trying to make a positive impact. The ability to adapt to changing circumstances is a key factor in staying relevant and effective. However, embracing change isn't just about external factors, it's also about internal transformation. It's about being willing to change the way you think, the way you approach problems, and the way you see yourself. For me, it was about learning to be more patient, more open-minded, and more resilient. Change challenges you to examine your habits and beliefs and to be willing to evolve. It pushes you to confront your limitations and break through them, which leads to personal growth. One of the greatest gifts that change offers is the opportunity to let go of the past. Holding on to old ways of thinking or doing things can create stagnation. When you embrace change, you give yourself permission to let go of what no longer serves you, whether it's old fears, old goals, or even old relationships. Letting go creates space for new things, new dreams, new experiences, and new possibilities. In the end, embracing change is about being open to the unknown. It's about understanding that change is inevitable, and rather than fearing it, you learn to lean into it. The world doesn't stand still, and neither should we. By embracing change, you not only stay ahead of the curve, but you become an active participant in shaping your own future. So, whenever change comes knocking, don't hesitate. Welcome it with open arms and trust that it's leading you exactly where you're meant to go. Gratitude is one of the most transformative practices you can incorporate into your life. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of success, constantly reaching for the next milestone, but I've come to realize that true success isn't just about achieving goals or collecting accolades. It's about being grateful for the journey, for every step, every lesson, and every person that has contributed to your growth. Gratitude brings perspective, grounding you in the present moment and allowing you to appreciate how far you've come. When I reflect on my journey from my early days in India to my career in both Bollywood and Hollywood, I am filled with gratitude for the experiences, challenges, and people that have shaped me. Every success, every setback, every moment of doubt has been an essential part of the story. If I hadn't faced the struggles, I wouldn't have developed the resilience, the confidence, or the wisdom that I carry with me today. And the truth is, I'm grateful for every part of the process. Without those moments, I wouldn't be who I am. Gratitude also allows you to celebrate the small wins along the way. Success can often feel like a moving target. You achieve one goal, and then there's another waiting for you. But in those moments of achievement, it's so important to take a step back and acknowledge your hard work, your effort, and the progress you've made. Gratitude isn't just about big accomplishments. It's about recognizing the little things that contribute to your overall success. Whether it's a compliment from a colleague, the support of a friend, or the opportunity to learn something new, each of these moments is worth appreciating. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is its ability to foster connection. When you express gratitude, you not only acknowledge the people who have helped you along the way, but you also build stronger, more meaningful relationships. In my life, I've been fortunate to have a strong support system from my family to my friends and mentors who have stood by me through thick and thin. Their belief in me, their encouragement, and their unconditional support have been invaluable. And the best way to honor that support is by expressing my gratitude. It's a reminder that we don't achieve success alone, we do it together, and every person who contributes to our journey deserves our thanks. Gratitude also helps keep you humble. No matter how much you achieve or how far you go, staying grounded is essential. It's easy to lose sight of where you started, but when you practice gratitude, you're reminded of the journey, the challenges, and the people who have helped you along the way. This humbling perspective not only keeps you focused on what truly matters, but it also allows you to give back in meaningful ways. Success isn't just about taking, it's about giving, and gratitude helps you stay connected to that principle. Lastly, gratitude brings peace. It has a unique way of shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you begin to see the richness in your life. Every achievement, every relationship, every experience is a gift, and when you approach life with this mindset, you begin to attract even more opportunities and positivity. Gratitude opens the door for more blessings to flow into your life because it shifts your energy to one of appreciation and abundance. In the end, gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a practice. It's a choice to appreciate the journey, to recognize the people who help you along the way, and to remain grounded in the present moment. When you embrace gratitude, you not only elevate your own life, but also the lives of those around you. It's a reminder that success is not just about what we achieve, but about how we acknowledge and honor the path that gets us there. Resilience in the face of adversity is the bedrock of success. It is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to stand tall after being knocked down, and to keep moving forward when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Life will always throw challenges our way. It's not a question of if, but when. And while we can't always control the circumstances that come our way, we can always control how we respond to them. Resilience, therefore, is not about avoiding hardship or pain. It's about how you handle it, how you grow from it, and how you rise above it. I've faced numerous obstacles throughout my career and personal life. There were moments when I felt like giving up, when I questioned whether all my efforts were worth it. But those were the moments that truly tested my character, my resolve, and my commitment to my dreams. There were countless times when I faced rejection, be it in the form of failed auditions, missed opportunities, or public criticism. Yet, through all of that, I learned that adversity is not something to fear or avoid. It is something to embrace, because it is only through overcoming these challenges that we discover our true strength. One of the most pivotal moments in my career was when I first ventured into the world of international acting. The decision to take a leap from Bollywood to Hollywood was not an easy one, and it came with its own set of challenges. The industry was vastly different, the cultural dynamics were unfamiliar, and I was a newcomer trying to make a name for myself in a highly competitive environment. Many people told me that it was too big of a step, that I would struggle to break through the glass ceiling. But I chose to ignore the naysayers. I knew that to succeed, I would have to be resilient, to adapt to the new environment, and to learn from every experience, good or bad. Adversity comes in many forms, and one of the most significant challenges I faced was learning how to handle public scrutiny. As a public figure, you are under constant observation. Your every move is analyzed, criticized, and commented on. There was a time when I was criticized for not being Indian enough, or for not fitting into the typical mold of what people expected of me. It was difficult to hear, and there were moments when I felt misunderstood, but over time I realized that resilience in the face of adversity is not just about withstanding the criticism, it's about using it as fuel to stay true to who you are. Instead of allowing the judgment to break me, I chose to let it strengthen my resolve. I didn't try to change who I was to fit into someone else's idea of success. Instead, I stayed authentic to myself, and that authenticity became my greatest strength. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or disappointment. It's about accepting that life will not always go according to plan and finding the courage to persevere anyway. It's about getting back up after every fall and trying again, even when the odds seem stacked against you. This requires a mindset shift. Rather than viewing adversity as an obstacle, I learned to see it as an opportunity for growth. Every failure, every setback was a lesson waiting to be learned. It was through the challenges that I developed new skills, gained new insights, and became more confident in my ability to overcome future hurdles. Another crucial aspect of resilience is learning how to manage your emotions in the face of adversity. It's easy to become overwhelmed by anger, frustration, or fear when things aren't going well. But resilience is about controlling those emotions, not letting them control you. It's about maintaining your composure, staying focused on your goals, and not allowing temporary setbacks to derail your long-term vision. In those difficult moments, I often remind myself that adversity is only temporary, but the lessons learned and the strength gained from pushing through will stay with me forever. Resilience is also about having the courage to ask for help when you need it. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you have to face adversity alone, but no one is truly successful without the support of others. For me, the people who have helped me through difficult times, my family, my friends, my mentors, have been invaluable. Their encouragement, wisdom, and support have been a source of strength, and I've learned that resilience is not just about individual strength. It's about building a network of people who uplift and encourage you when you feel like you can't go on. The ability to stay resilient also comes from having a clear vision of your purpose. When things get tough, it's easy to lose sight of why you started in the first place. But when you remember your purpose, your why, it becomes easier to navigate through the hard times. For me, my purpose has always been to inspire others, to show people that no dream is too big, no challenge is too great. And whenever I face adversity, I remind myself of that purpose, and it gives me the strength to keep going. Resilience is not just about surviving adversity, it's about using adversity to fuel your growth. Every setback becomes an opportunity to develop your character, refine your skills, and deepen your understanding of what you are capable of. It is through resilience that we discover our inner strength, our true potential, and our ability to turn challenges into triumphs. The greatest success stories are often the ones that are built on a foundation of resilience. They are the stories of individuals who have faced unimaginable odds, but through perseverance, hard work, and a refusal to give up, they have overcome them. The key to resilience lies in how we respond to adversity. It's not about avoiding the pain, but about embracing it, learning from it, and using it to propel ourselves forward. Every successful woman, every successful individual has faced challenges along the way. But what sets them apart is their ability to rise from those challenges, to learn from them, and to keep moving forward. Resilience is the muscle that, when exercised, grows stronger with each trial. And with each trial, we become not only better equipped to face the future, but also more confident in our ability to overcome whatever comes our way. So the next time you face adversity, remember that resilience is not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing it, learning from it, and using it to build a stronger version of yourself. The challenges you face today are the lessons that will shape your tomorrow, and every hardship is an opportunity for growth. Keep going. You've got this. Support from the right people is a powerful force that can make all the difference in one's life and career. We all go through struggles, challenges, and moments of doubt, but it's the people who surround us that often determine how we handle those difficulties. Whether it's family, friends, mentors, colleagues, or even strangers who offer their kindness, having the right support system is not just a luxury, it's essential to our well-being and success. Throughout my life, I have come to realize the immeasurable value of having the right people around me. I can confidently say that none of my achievements would have been possible without the unwavering support of those who believed in me, even when I couldn't believe in myself. Their encouragement, guidance, and love have been my anchor in moments of uncertainty and my motivation when I needed it the most. I grew up in a family that instilled in me the belief that anything was possible if I worked hard enough. My parents, especially my mother, were my first source of inspiration and support. I remember the countless times my mother told me that I could be anything I wanted to be, even when I was unsure of myself. Her words were like a safety net. They gave me the courage to take risks, pursue my dreams, and step into the unknown. Having a family that believes in you is irreplaceable. It is the foundation that allows you to build the confidence to face challenges head-on. But beyond family, the support of mentors and peers has been just as crucial in my journey. Early in my career, I encountered numerous hurdles. I was constantly learning, evolving, and growing as an artist, but I couldn't have done it alone. I've been fortunate enough to have mentors who guided me through the complexities of the entertainment industry. They didn't just teach me the technical aspects of my craft, they helped me navigate the emotional and psychological challenges that come with being in the public eye. In the entertainment industry, rejection is inevitable. You audition for roles and sometimes you don't get them. You put in the work and sometimes it doesn't pay off right away. I can't even count the number of times I heard no before I ever heard a yes. In those moments of rejection, it would have been easy to question myself, to wonder if I was ever going to make it. But my mentors were there to remind me that rejection wasn't a reflection of my worth or talent. It was simply a part of the process. They encouraged me to stay focused, to keep pushing forward, and to not let setbacks define me. Their belief in me helped me believe in myself when I was struggling. One of the most important lessons I learned from my mentors was the power of patience and persistence. They reminded me that success doesn't happen overnight and that the most meaningful achievements come after years of hard work, dedication, and sometimes failure. Having people in your life who provide wisdom and perspective during tough times is invaluable. Their experience and insight help you put things into perspective and see beyond the immediate setbacks. Equally important to my journey has been the support of my peers. It's easy to think that success is a solo venture, but the truth is that behind every successful person is a network of people who uplift, inspire, and encourage them. Whether it's fellow actors, directors, or people I've worked with on various projects, having the right people around you can make the difference between success and failure. These are the people who cheer you on, celebrate your wins, and stand by you when things don't go as planned. They remind you that you are not alone in your journey, and they help keep you grounded when the pressures of life and fame can become overwhelming. In the entertainment industry, where competition is fierce and the stakes are high, it's easy to feel isolated. But I've always believed that collaboration and teamwork are at the heart of true success. There's a shared energy and creativity that comes from being surrounded by people who understand your vision, who are aligned with your goals, and who support you through thick and thin. When you work with people who genuinely want to see you succeed, it's not just about achieving personal success, it's about lifting each other up, growing together, and celebrating each other's achievements. I've also learned that support doesn't always have to come from people who are in the same industry or profession as you. Sometimes the most valuable support comes from people outside your field who offer fresh perspectives and remind you of the bigger picture. Whether it's a close friend who provides a listening ear, a colleague who gives you constructive feedback, or even a stranger who offers a word of encouragement, the right support can come from unexpected places. And these moments of support are often the ones that have the most profound impact on our lives. However, as much as the right people can provide support, it's also important to recognize that not everyone will be there to lift you up. In fact, there will be people who doubt you, criticize you, or try to bring you down. It's easy to let negativity affect you, but resilience comes from knowing that you don't need everyone's approval. Surround yourself with people who have your best interests at heart and distance yourself from those who don't. Life is too short to waste energy on negativity, and the right support system will help you stay focused on what matters most, your goals and your dreams. Support from the right people isn't just about being there when things are easy. It's about being there when you're at your lowest, when you're questioning your path, and when you're struggling to stay afloat. It's about offering encouragement when you feel defeated, helping you find strength when you think you have none left. These are the people who see your potential even when you can't see it yourself, and they remind you that you're capable of achieving far more than you ever imagined. In the end, success is never a solo journey. It is a collaborative effort, a combination of hard work, dedication, and the unwavering support of the right people. Whether it's your family, friends, mentors, or peers, the people who surround you will play a significant role in your ability to overcome challenges and reach your goals. So make sure you invest in relationships that nurture, support, and empower you. Because with the right people by your side, anything is possible. The courage to break barriers is one of the most essential qualities that any individual, especially women, must cultivate in order to truly achieve greatness. It is easy to fall into the comfort of the familiar, to remain in the space where expectations are low and boundaries are already set. But true progress, whether in personal growth, career, or societal change, comes from stepping beyond those boundaries and challenging the norms that hold us back. It's about daring to defy what the world tells you is possible and pushing through the limitations imposed by others or even yourself. When I think about the barriers I've had to break throughout my life and career, I can't help but feel that courage has always been at the core of my journey. As an Indian woman pursuing a career in entertainment, I was constantly told that there were limits to what I could achieve. People told me that I would never be able to break into Hollywood, that I could never truly be an international star because of my ethnicity, my background, or my identity. These were barriers that were not just physical, but deeply embedded in society's prejudices and stereotypes. But rather than letting those barriers define me or limit my aspirations, I found the courage to break through them. The first barrier I had to face was the very one that came with being a woman in a field dominated by men. In the early stages of my career, many doors in Bollywood were simply closed to women, especially women who didn't fit the conventional mold of what was considered marketable. The industry was full of preconceived notions about what a female actor should look like, how she should behave, and the kind of roles she should play. The challenge wasn't just to be good at what I did, but to prove that I was worthy of being seen as a serious actor, that my talents weren't confined to the roles I was being offered. Breaking through these initial barriers took an enormous amount of courage. It meant saying no to roles that didn't align with my values, and it meant challenging the narrative that women could only achieve success by fitting into a particular box. As my career progressed, I realized that breaking barriers wasn't just about fighting for recognition or equality. It was also about embracing the unknown and stepping outside my comfort zone. One of the biggest risks I took was moving from Bollywood to Hollywood. This was not a transition that was guaranteed to be successful. I was entering an entirely different industry with different rules, different cultures, and different expectations. There were countless people who told me that it was too much of a leap, that it was risky, that it would be almost impossible to build a career on such a different platform. But I knew in my heart that in order to fulfill my dreams, I had to break through the barriers that existed in my mind. I had to leave behind the safety of what I knew and step into the unfamiliar. And in doing so, I realized that it's not about whether the world is ready for you. It's about whether you're ready to show the world your true potential. The courage to break barriers also comes from challenging not just external obstacles, but the internal doubts that we often place on ourselves. For many women, the voice in the back of their heads that tells them they are not good enough or that they shouldn't dream too big is one of the biggest barriers they face. This voice, fueled by years of societal conditioning, can be crippling. For a long time, I too struggled with self-doubt. There were times when I thought that perhaps I wasn't cut out for a global career. Maybe I wasn't talented enough. Maybe I wasn't beautiful enough. Maybe I wasn't different enough to succeed in such a competitive world. But the courage to push past that voice, to reject the notion that I was limited by my background or my gender, was what helped me rise. It was in those moments of doubt that I realized breaking barriers doesn't only require external courage. It requires the inner strength to silence the fears that hold you back. In addition to challenging myself personally, I realized that breaking barriers also means changing the way society perceives what is possible. When I joined Quantico, a major television series in the US, I was not just stepping into a new industry, but also challenging the stereotypes of what an Indian woman in Hollywood could look like. The character I played was not the traditional sidekick or background role that we often see for people of color in Western media. She was the lead, complex, powerful, and in charge of her destiny. This role broke the traditional stereotypes of women, of South Asian women, and of immigrants. It was a symbolic and practical step in dismantling the barriers that people of color, particularly women, have to fight against in order to be recognized as equal and capable in spaces that were historically not meant for them. By challenging the industry's view of what a woman could do and what an ethnic minority could represent, I was not just advancing my career, but I was also playing my part in creating a more inclusive and diverse future for others who would follow in my footsteps. In breaking barriers, it's important to recognize that it's not just about achieving personal success. It's about creating a pathway for others to follow, about dismantling the systems that have made it difficult for women and marginalized groups to thrive. For me, that was one of the most rewarding aspects of breaking barriers, realizing that the doors I was opening could also be doors for the next generation. As women, we have the power to uplift one another, to break barriers not just for ourselves, but for others. When we succeed, we are not just proving that one woman can make it. We are showing the world that women collectively can do anything. Breaking barriers is not easy. It takes courage to confront the unknown, to challenge societal expectations, and to overcome internal fears. But it is through these acts of courage that we change the world. The courage to break barriers is not about doing something once. It's about continuously challenging what is possible and pushing the limits of what we believe we can achieve. The world will always present obstacles, but the courage to face them, to push beyond them, and to redefine what's possible is what makes every successful woman a force to be reckoned with. We can't wait for the world to change on its own. We must be the ones to break the barriers and shape the world we want to live in. And in doing so, we inspire others to do the same. The passion to pursue your dreams is the driving force behind every success story. It's what wakes you up in the morning with purpose and keeps you going even when the journey gets tough. Passion is not just about desire, it's the relentless energy that propels you to overcome obstacles, to keep pushing forward, and to never give up no matter the challenges. When you are passionate about something, it fuels your ambition and gives you the strength to endure setbacks, criticism, and failure because you know that what you're pursuing is worth every sacrifice. From a young age, I knew I had big dreams. Growing up in India, I was surrounded by people who had their own dreams and ambitions, but I was different. I always felt a sense of purpose that I couldn't quite explain. A desire to do something that would be bigger than myself, something that would reach far beyond the boundaries of my small town. But even though I knew I had big dreams, I also understood that passion alone was not enough to turn those dreams into reality. Passion, when combined with hard work, determination, and focus, is what turns a dream into something tangible. When I first began my journey in the entertainment industry, I didn't have the luxury of fame or a network of influential people to back me up. All I had was a dream and an overwhelming passion to make it happen. There were no guarantees, no roadmap, and no assurances that I would succeed. In fact, there were many people who doubted me. I was told that it was a tough industry and that it would be impossible for someone like me, an Indian woman from a small town, to break into Bollywood, let alone make it internationally. But my passion for what I wanted to achieve was stronger than any doubt that was thrown my way. I knew that if I was willing to work harder than anyone else and give everything I had to my craft, I could defy the odds. Pursuing your dreams requires resilience and the willingness to face rejection time and again. There were countless auditions I didn't get, many opportunities that didn't pan out, and times when it seemed like my dream was slipping further and further away. But every rejection only strengthened my resolve. I kept reminding myself that the journey wasn't going to be easy and that setbacks were a natural part of the process. I learned to see each no as an opportunity to learn and improve. Passion is the fuel that keeps you going when it feels like the world is telling you to stop. It's what makes you wake up every day and keep working toward your goal even when things don't go as planned. Another key element in pursuing your dreams is the ability to embrace discomfort. Passion often forces you to step out of your comfort zone and take risks. For me, one of the biggest risks I took was moving from Bollywood to Hollywood. It was a massive leap, and it required a whole new set of skills, knowledge, and an understanding of a very different industry. But I was driven by a desire to challenge myself, to prove that an Indian actress could thrive on the global stage. At the time, many people in the industry told me that I should stick to what I knew, that it would be too difficult to break into an industry where I wasn't well known, where the rules were different, and where I wasn't sure how I would fit in. But my passion to push boundaries and achieve something larger than myself pushed me to take the leap. It wasn't easy, but with every challenge, I grew stronger and more confident. Pursuing your dreams also requires a deep belief in yourself. There will be moments when you question whether you're capable, when the weight of doubt becomes too heavy to carry. This is where passion plays a crucial role. When you are passionate about something, you know in your heart that you are meant to do it, even when the world tells you otherwise. I often remind myself that passion comes from the heart. It's what gives you the energy to keep going when the path is unclear, when the outcome is uncertain. The belief that you are capable of achieving your dreams, no matter how daunting they may seem, comes from this deep intrinsic passion. It's a reminder that you are not simply pursuing a goal because it looks good on paper or because others expect it from you, but because it's what fills you with purpose. Alongside belief in yourself, pursuing your dreams requires dedication to continuous growth and improvement. Passion can ignite a desire to succeed, but it's the hard work and constant learning that will propel you forward. As an actor, I've always believed in the power of preparation. The best performances come when you've put in the effort to understand your character, to refine your skills, and to immerse yourself in your craft. The passion I have for acting drives me to constantly evolve, to challenge myself, and to learn from every experience, every role I take on. It's not enough to simply have passion. You must pair it with the commitment to grow, to improve, and to become the best version of yourself. Pursuing your dreams also involves sacrifices. The path to success is rarely a straight line. It is filled with difficult decisions, long hours, and moments when you feel like giving up. But if you truly believe in your dreams and have the passion to pursue them, you will find the strength to make those sacrifices. For me, it meant being away from my family for extended periods of time, missing important moments with loved ones, and constantly juggling multiple responsibilities. But every sacrifice was worth it, because my passion for what I do kept me going. When you have a deep connection to your dream, the sacrifices don't feel like burdens. They are simply stepping stones toward your ultimate goal. There will always be people who try to dissuade you from following your dreams. Some will tell you it's too hard, that it's unrealistic, or that it's not the right time. But when you have the passion to pursue your dreams, you become impervious to negativity. Passion keeps you focused on what you want to achieve, and it empowers you to drown out the voices of doubt. It pushes you to prove to the world that your dreams are worth pursuing and that you can achieve them no matter what. Ultimately, the passion to pursue your dreams is what defines your success. It's not just about reaching a specific goal, but about the fire that burns inside you, the drive that pushes you through the tough times, the belief in your potential, and the dedication to continuously work toward your vision. When you pursue your dreams with passion, you are not simply going after something for yourself. You are setting an example for others, showing them that no dream is too big, no goal too far out of reach. And with that passion, the impossible becomes possible and your dreams become your reality. Empowering other women is one of the most fulfilling and impactful actions anyone can take in their life. It goes beyond simply lifting each other up. It's about creating a ripple effect of support, inspiration, and encouragement that transforms not only the lives of individuals, but also entire communities, industries, and even nations. When women empower each other, they don't just build individual successes, they create a collective force that shapes a future where every woman has the opportunity to reach her fullest potential. Throughout my journey, I've been fortunate to have had incredible women who supported me, believed in me, and pushed me to be the best version of myself. These women did not just show me kindness, they showed me strength, resilience, and leadership. Their influence was crucial in helping me build the confidence to follow my dreams. It is because of them that I understand the immense power of empowering other women, and it is why I believe that every woman has the responsibility to do the same. Empowerment is not a one-time action, it is a continuous and reciprocal process. It is about supporting, encouraging, and uplifting other women, particularly in spaces where women have historically been underrepresented or sidelined. In the entertainment industry, where I've spent a significant part of my career, women often find themselves fighting for equal opportunities, recognition, and respect. For years, the narratives in film and television were overwhelmingly dominated by male characters, and even today, women in the industry often have to navigate a path filled with obstacles that their male counterparts do not face. In the face of these challenges, I've always made it a priority to stand alongside other women, whether through collaboration or mentorship, to help them break through barriers and claim their space in this industry. One of the most important aspects of empowering women is the act of mentorship. I've always believed in the importance of guiding and supporting younger women who are starting their own journeys. Mentorship is a way of passing on knowledge, experience, and wisdom to the next generation, but it is also an opportunity to offer emotional and moral support. Young women often feel like they are navigating a world full of expectations and pressure, and having someone to help them feel seen, heard, and valued can make all the difference. Whether it's through offering advice or simply being there to listen, mentorship can serve as a powerful tool in empowering others. But empowerment isn't just about offering advice or giving opportunities, it's also about creating spaces where women can share their experiences without fear of judgment or ridicule. This is especially important in industries like entertainment, where women often face criticism or stereotyping. I've always tried to ensure that the spaces I occupy are inclusive and supportive. Whether it's on a film set, at a business meeting, or in my personal life, I make it a priority to create an environment where women feel comfortable expressing themselves, taking risks, and contributing their ideas. When women are given the opportunity to express themselves freely and without fear of judgment, they are more likely to step into their power and achieve things they never thought possible. There is a common misconception that women must compete with each other to succeed, that there is only room for a few to rise to the top. This myth of scarcity is one of the most damaging ideas that women are often subjected to. The truth is that when women empower each other, we all rise together. The more women are given opportunities, the more success we create for one another. Success is not finite, it is something that grows exponentially when women collaborate and support each other. By championing each other's successes and recognizing that one woman's win does not diminish another's, we can create an environment of mutual respect and growth. I've always believed that the more women succeed, the more we can change the narratives in industries, cultures, and societies that have historically sidelined us. Empowering women also means advocating for the change we want to see in society. While we all have a responsibility to empower each other on an individual level, true societal change requires collective action. This is why I'm passionate about being an advocate for gender equality, both in my career and outside of it. It's not enough to simply empower women in our personal lives. We must also create a world where women have equal access to opportunities, equal pay, and equal representation. This means speaking out about the systemic issues that continue to hold women back. It means fighting for policies that support women's rights, for an end to gender-based violence, and for equal representation in leadership positions. Empowerment is not just about individual action, it's about using our collective voices to demand the world we deserve. As women, we have the unique ability to lift each other up and push each other toward greater heights. We have the ability to connect, collaborate, and create a future where women's voices are heard, their contributions are celebrated, and their success is seen as a shared achievement. One of the greatest lessons I have learned from my own experiences is that we are stronger together. The power of women supporting women is unstoppable. The more we invest in each other's growth, the more we collectively push boundaries and break down barriers. Another important aspect of empowering women is ensuring that women from all walks of life have the opportunity to succeed. It's not enough to empower women who already have access to resources and opportunities. True empowerment means reaching out to women who may not have the same privileges, women who face additional obstacles because of their race, class, sexuality, or socioeconomic status. By making space for women from diverse backgrounds, we create a more inclusive, more equitable society. Women's empowerment is for every woman, and we must all work together to ensure that no one is left behind. The ripple effect of empowering women is undeniable. When one woman is empowered, she doesn't just change her own life, she changes the lives of her family, her community, and those who come after her. By empowering women, we create a world where daughters grow up knowing that they can do anything, where sisters support each other through thick and thin, and where women across the globe come together to challenge the systems that hold them back. The change starts with each of us, and the impact of our actions is immeasurable. In the end, empowering other women is about more than just giving them the tools to succeed. It's about believing in them, championing them, and standing by their side through every challenge and triumph. It's about creating a world where every woman has the chance to live her fullest life, to achieve her wildest dreams, and to know that she's not alone in her journey. The more we empower each other, the more we shape a future that celebrates and uplifts all women. And in doing so, we build a world that is richer, more inclusive, and far more powerful than we ever thought possible.